center of the universe, and the Thrive15.com world headquarters.
Let's go!
Presenting the world's only business school without the BS, with optometrist and entrepreneur Dr. Robert Zellner, and the former Small Business Administration Entrepreneur of the Year in your ear, Clay Clark. It's the Thrivetime Show on Talk Radio 1170. 3, 2, 1.
Boom, boom, boom. Thrive Nation, welcome back inside the room. It is the Thrivetime Show on your radio. My name is Clay Clark. I'm the former SBA Entrepreneur of the Year, sent here to make your financial worries disappear. And to do that, I am today rejoined yet again with the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who started off as a man with a very, let's say, an incredible resume of dishwashing. And from there, he thought, maybe I could go from dishwashing to becoming an optometrist. And so he studied mathematics and optometry at NSU. And then he started Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates because that was his name. And he's gone on to become Tulsa's tycoon. My friend, how are you? Welcome back, Dr. Zellner.
You like that word tycoon, but I am very happy today.
Really?
Yes. Because my stomach is full. We got to eat lunch. We do this over lunch, 12 to 2, so I always try to do a little early lunch, And I had the pleasure of having a little bit of Oklahoma Joe's barbecue. Burnt ends and baked beans, and this smile on my face, you couldn't knock it off if you tried.
I had heard, I wasn't sure if this was true or not, but I'd heard that, at certain bars, if someone's had too much to drink, they'll cut you off.
Yes,
My understanding is you had so many burnt ends for your health, they were saying, sir, we're going to have to cut you off.
Back away from the table. Back away. And the baked beans, I just kept,
Unbelievable.
No, it's so good. So Oklahoma Joe's, 3 locations.
3 locations. Now, where are the 3 locations? For anybody who's maybe not super aware of where they're at.
One's in Broken Arrow over there by the Bass Pro Shop. Can't miss it. One's at 61st and Sheridan. And then they have a daytime one that by next to Cane's, the iconic Cane's Ballroom in town. And then also, I think on concert nights, they also open it up too. But it's lunchtime there downtown. So 3 great choices.
Now, Thrive Nation, today inside the box that rocks, we are joined today. We have kind of a guy who snuck inside the box that rocks. When I say he snuck, we definitely talked about it. But it just he's kind of is a guy who very very humble guy, but he's very focused on this business idea. He has a very pure reason for wanting to start this business, but he's not a huge self-promoter. And he's kind of learning the whole marketing game because he has this product that people love. In fact, in our office, everybody is starting to pre-order their lunches from this guy. And so what happens is, you're a busy entrepreneur. You got a lot going on in your workday. You're very busy. You have a lot of things in your schedule. And you say, you know what? I don't have time to make a healthy food decision. I just want the food delivered to my office, and I want it to be good. I want it to be high quality. And that's what Joseph does. Joseph, how are you, man? Welcome inside the box that rocks.
I am absolutely impeccable. I am flattered to be here with you and Dr. Z.
Now, I want to ask you, for the Thrive Nation out there who wants to know, what's the name of your company? What's your website? Just kind of educate us. What exactly do you do?
So my name is Joseph McKee. I'm the owner of The Urban Lunchbox. What we do is we provide convenient nutrition by delivering healthy lunches made fresh and delivered directly to you on a daily basis. Our website is theulb.com.
Theulb.com?
Yes, sir.
Now, let me ask you this here. Where, if people go to your website, can they order right there? Or where can they find out about the food options and the menu options you have for the Thrive Nation?
So once you go to the website, you will see that there's a meal packages page. And right now, you cannot order online, but you can call me at 918-693-2218. And there's a form on the website for you to fill out, and we will get in contact with you as well.
Now, for the Thrivers who haven't seen Dr. Zellner lately, he's looking lean and mean. The guy's just he's just wow. You are my friend, there's no Photoshop going on inside the box that rocks. I mean, you're a beautiful man, and you're getting in shape and lean and mean.
I tell you what, being away does, grow the heart a little more fonder. I missed a show or two. I was traveling, and now I get back, and you're wooing me. You're wooing me in the box.
I'm just saying, sir, are you eating a healthy diet here? Are you working out? What's your deal?
Yeah, all the above. Yeah, people ask me all the time, say, what are you doing? I said, well, just, eating right and doing a little exercise. It's amazing, wow, what that'll do for you.
So let's say you want to automate your diet, okay, Thrivers? You want to eat well consistently. So what's the offer, Joseph? I'm skeptical. I'm going, am I even going to like the food? Does it even taste good? I mean, what's the no-brainer? What's the offer that you have for the Thrive Nation?
All right, so your first meal is just $1, and you kind of pick from a weekly meal plan. Our weekly meal plans are very affordable. We have a Fresh Start, which is only $13.50. We have a Health Nut that's going to be $38. That's 3 meals delivered on your day of choice. And then we have the Nutrition Technician, which is going to be 5 meals delivered Monday through Friday for only $11. And how it works is you go through our list of proteins, you pick which ones you would like on your meal, and then you go through our list of carbs, pick which one you would like to go in your meal, and then you pick which vegetables that you're willing to eat, and we rotate the combinations that you pick to create different choices for you in different meals each day.
So it's a little bit of a surprise. It's like Christmas every day, huh? In the box?
It is like Christmas every day in the box.
Wow, that's fun. Now, Sam, our producer, is a big weightlifting, macho kind of lumberjack man, and he came up with a chicken shake the other day, and just another way to eat. Do you have any choices that would I could do a chicken shake? Is that on your list?
No chicken shakes, but I could look into doing that for you.
No.
Well, Sam would like that. So.
Now, my understanding is Sam. I don't know if Sam is your mic on there. My understanding is Sam is now the 4th strongest man in Oklahoma or something like that. Sam, is that right? You're number 1. Sam says he's number 1 right now.
Wow, that's our guy.
Wow, number 1.
That's a thriver right there. That's a thriver attitude. I'm number 1.
Are you really So you're the strongest man in Oklahoma. I realize you're not mic'd right now, but when we come back, I'm going to have to get you on the mic there because that's an incredible thing. I don't know if that was determined by an arm wrestling competition in the office or if this was an actual competitive meet. Rumor has it was an actual competitive meet here. But the Thrivers today, we're talking about something that I think we can all get competitive about. It's about growing our own business. And we have Thrivers who will email us in from time to time questions. And today, we have a Thriver who says, my business isn't growing and I don't know why. What can you do to help me? I mean, and Z, we don't know what kind of industry they're in because they just sent us the question saying, hey, my business isn't growing and what could you guys do to help me? And I thought it'd be kind of fun for us to kind of go through the diagnostic system that we would go through.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's absolutely. I mean, that's the thing about it is that you've worked so hard to get a business going. Joseph, just like you and your lunchbox that you've got going now, you put a lot of time and effort and dreams and money and resources into it. I mean, it's your life, when you're an entrepreneur starting a business. And so the idea then that this thing is going to fail is horrible because you can go online and look, you Google it right now, Thrivers, but anywhere from 80 to 90% of all businesses fail. And so many times you ask the person why they failed, and they don't even know.
It's not a good thing. And then the thing is, when you don't know what you don't know, it can be very, very frustrating. And so you need to go through a 13-point assessment. And we're going to go through all 13 of these steps during today's show. And I'm going to start off with step number 1, okay? So as a business coach, as your business coaching resource, we're going to help you. 1 is you have to establish your revenue goals. You just have to know how many customers you need to achieve your financial goals. So, Z, let's kind of look at this under the context of your optometry clinic. And I'm not asking you to divulge your secrets, your secret recipe. But when you started Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates, did you have an idea of how many customers that you needed to achieve your financial goal of no longer driving that beat-up Ford Festiva?
It was my first car was a Pinto Runabout. Thank you. And I didn't have it then. I actually had a what did I have then? I had I think some kind of Volkswagen Fox back. I don't even know if you remember those or not. Volkswagen Fox, I think it was back.
Nice.
Back in the day. Yes, I knew what my break even was. I knew what I would make approximately from each patient. I had them in different categories because a contact lens patient was different than just an eyeglasses patient, different than both of them, different than just an eye exam. So I kind of broke it down into categories, and I kind of have a goal of I think half a dozen there when I was first starting off to try to get in and see.
So once you set that initial goal of knowing how many you needed, it kind of creates this feeling of, okay, now I know the path. I mean, but if you don't know, I mean, it's possible to actually barely get by and to stay in that cycle of not even knowing what your goals are for years. I mean, we've met entrepreneurs that don't know how many deals they need to get to hit their goals. See, why does that happen more often than not, unfortunately?
Well, a lot of times people don't put the actual cost of the product in, and they come up with they may look at it, but then they get the numbers wrong because they don't factor in their rent, their electricity, their phone bill, a lot of things that they just say, okay, well, it costs this much to build a widget. Say $10 to build it. I'll sell it for $20, and I'm going to make $10 a widget. But they're really not making the $10 a widget. They have payroll in there. They have rent. They have a lot of other things that come off the bottom line that affect the cost of that widget. So now they think, well, I can sell 10 widgets a day and make my money. And then they're selling 10 widgets and they fail, and they're like, I don't know what happened.
Robert Kiyosaki, the best-selling author of the Rich Dad, Poor Dad series, he says, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. Dave Ramsey says, a budget is telling your money where to go. Not having a budget is asking your money where it went. Joseph, you're starting this business. I mean, you're starting to attract new customers, and people are starting to refer each other and tell each other about what's happening in my office is every time someone gets their lunch delivered, someone goes, where'd you get that? And I say, I got it from my main man, Joseph. And they go, well, what's his website? And that's kind of how that's happening. But talk to me about, as you're starting the business, how important is it for you mentally to know the number of customers that you need to achieve your financial goals?
I mean, if you don't know how much money you're going to be how many meals you need to be making, you can figure out. If you don't know how many meals that I need to sell, I won't be able to start and grow my business or continue to grow my business as well. I mean, I got to factor in all the cost of everything down to the silverware, the napkins, the boxes. And how I figured that out is I listened to a Thrive video online that said you got to figure out all your costs. So write down all the costs you think you need, go to sleep, wake up, write down all the costs you think you need, go to sleep, wake up. And I did that for about 5 days straight to figure out how many.
I'm so glad you mentioned that video on Thrive15.com, Z, because there's something that we explained this in one of the training videos, and sometimes certain things can be better explained on video because you can see the graphics and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But when you go to sleep and you wake up the next morning, I mean, I guess, Z, have you ever thought when you make this budget and you wake up the next morning and you're like, how did I forget that?
Yeah, oh yeah, all the time. And that's why you write it down, you look at it, you go back and look at it again, and then you have, a friend look at it. You have maybe one of your right-hand guys in your business look at it. You're like, oh, how did I forget that?
It's these things that could be, they seem obvious. They're a lot of times not obvious because you're so aggressive working in the business just trying to do sales. And in the phase one of the business, by the way, Thrivers, is you got to get that branding right. You got to get the logo, the website, the marketing, and then you got to sell something. And as that's going on, you also have to take the time out of the schedule needed, out of your busy schedule, to actually look at your numbers and to make sure you're going in the right direction. Now, step number 2 of the business coaching process is you have to establish the number of customers you need just to break even and to achieve financial freedom. Z, in your mind, financial freedom, what does that look like? If you could describe what it means to be financially free. For someone who's never been there, I mean, what does that look like to you?
It looks as fun as it is. What happens with financial freedom? You finally get to do the things you want to do, the people you want to help, the people you need to help. It allows you to do those things. It allows you to tell that money where to go, and it's fun seeing the productivity. And also too, one thing I've found with being an entrepreneur is that with financial freedom, you can start new businesses much easier because you don't have to rely on that business to be profitable at a very early stage. And so that's been kind of one of my ways of opening new businesses, that you get that financial freedom, and then you can take that and then you can just kind of kickstart that new business by putting all the profit back into it and growing it faster.
Now, Z, when we come back, we're going to be talking more about financial freedom and specifically getting to know the numbers of your business. Stay tuned. It's the Thrivetime Show, thrivetimeshow.com. Check it out online.
I'm Ken P. Lott, and I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Professional painting by Ken. Quite a bit of stuff. A lot of stuff I know that I needed to do but didn't know how to do it. Web page, how to hire people, sales, making a schedule, making programs. I mean, just a lot of stuff. I mean, it's overwhelming, but it's good stuff that you can actually put to practice right away. It's A lot different than I expected. Been to different workshops and just waiting for the sales punch, and they give you ideas and stuff, but it's always 10 years down the road when you can actually apply the stuff that they're trying to promote. And this is not like that at all. It's very ground level, help you start a business and maintain and grow a bigger business. I like it a lot because he makes you feel comfortable, makes you laugh, so it opens you up to receive and hear better. This is great. It's a lot of interaction. You can ask him questions, you can help, if you don't understand something, he can explain it more. So it's very, very helpful. They're missing a lot because a lot of businesses probably do some of the steps that he's teaching, but there's so much they can learn into easy steps that they'll grow their business even better. It's not like any other workshop I've ever been to. It's very laid back and a lot of information, and it's a comfortable setting. It's awesome. It's a really good experience.
Pop, pop, it's showtime. 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 Guess who's back again? Oh, they don't know. Oh, they don't know. I bet they know as soon as we walk in. Showed up, I'm wearing Cuban links.
All right, Z, Dr. Zellner, welcome back into the box that rocks. It is showtime and it is go time. If you are serious about becoming a successful entrepreneur, you definitely want to listen to today's show because we're talking about what the question from a Thriver was, hey, my business isn't growing. What could you guys do to help me? So I'm going off the assumption that you have an actual business.
yeah, that's step one.
And beyond just having an LLC, but I'm assuming you have some kind of sales here. So step one, you want to establish some revenue goals. Now, Z, whenever I ask you these questions, I kind of blindside you with these questions, but there's so many things you've taught me over the years. I want to go back to step one because there was something you told me years ago, and I don't know if you remember this, but when people set these revenue goals, we often set small goals that fit in with our small lives and our small ambition and our small expectations. But when you set a big goal, all of a sudden it starts to work with the big life, with the big goals and the big things and the big dreams. And you're big on setting big goals. So what advice would you have for the Thrivers out there who maybe are dreaming small or setting some small financial goals? What advice would you have?
Well, add a zero.
Add a zero, just whatever. I want to make $10,000 this year, man.
No, $100,000. I mean, just add a zero to it, and expand yourself a little bit, stretch yourself a little bit. I mean, it's like you said, I go back and look at what my goals were, back in the day, and it's kind of like, wow, you've come a long ways, and your dreams are much bigger now because you have a new footprint for that in your mind. But I would tell you, when you're out there saying, hey, listen, what kind of lifestyle do I want? Where do I want to be? How big a home do I want to live in? What kind of car do I want to drive? I mean, these are questions that you sit down and they help you dream and they help you kind of keep focused on the idea of this financial freedom. And you get that by having a successful business, right? So these are all kind of reverse engineer. But if you start with, hey, I'd really like to have this home. All right.
This home right here.
And now you can also reverse engineer how much you need to make per year to afford a home of that caliber. Okay.
Now, I want to ask Joseph this because Joseph, you're building your business. It's a food delivery service where you deliver high quality and healthy meals to busy people. When you have your revenue goals, have you actually determined like your big goals? Have you sat down and thought about this is where you want to be financially? Have you had that thought?
Of course, I have all my F6 goals written down, and they are actually on a cork board in my bedroom, so I get to see them every day before I walk out.
Oh, this is a Thriver at heart, man.
Oh, my gosh. You are Thrive.com.
For anybody who's just tuning in right now, the F6 goals are faith, family, finances, fitness, friendship, and fun. It's so important that you have a goal for those F6 areas. Now, Sam, you're a power lifter. Are you now mic'd officially, Sam?
I am mic'd right now.
Okay, so we were just joking about it, though, but you set a big goal, right? You set a big goal recently. You said that you wanted to become the strongest man in the state of Oklahoma. Is that real?
I've set tons of huge goals, and one of the goals that I set a while back was to be number one in Oklahoma. And this last weekend, I am now the number one powerlifter in Oklahoma in my weight class.
So how much can you lift, my man?
I can lift 1,730 pounds. That's a total. So I can squat 650 pounds. I can bench 405 and deadlift 675.
What is going on?
That is just freakish. Wow.
Hey,
wow.
my car, if you could just move it for me a few parking spaces over, that would be great.
That'd be great.
I have deadlifted a car before.
Unbelievable. Okay, now step number 2 is you want to establish the number of customers needed to break even and to achieve financial freedom. So let's go with breaking even. Z, why do you have to know how many customers you need just to break even, my man?
Well, you have to have that minimum bar set, and then that way you know. It's kind of fun when you have that and you hit it like, say, I don't know, in the afternoon. You're like, yo, I'm actually going to make some money today. It really gives you a clear view of what's going on in your business, a better one at least. And so it sounds kind of crazy, but it's kind of like, hey, we need to see 10 patients today. Hey, we need to see 12 patients. We need to see 8 patients. We need to see, and then you have that as a goal, and your team knows it. It just kind of helps fire everybody up. Hey, 1 down, 2 down, 3 down. Back in the day, now it's we need to see more than 8 or 10.
My whole concept, the way I would look at this in business is that it's a scoreboard. And when I had a company called Epic Photography years ago, or even DJ Connection, we weren't doing well at all. And we weren't achieving anything if we didn't do at least $30,000 a week in sales. So if we're not doing $30,000 a week in sales, it's kind of like, why are we even coming to the office? So a lot of people start getting casual. They start relaxing. They start, hanging out, feeling very comfortable at $5,000 of sales or 6. But I'm going, no. We need to go much, much faster. And having that big goal absolutely motivates your team. I mean, your team can't drift when they know they have to get to 30,000. Well, then you cut it down into a daily goal. So now you tell the team we got to do $5,000 a day of sales. Well, then I break that down into an hourly goal. Well, see, all of a sudden I'm running around the office going, we got to sell $800 an hour. Let's go. Let's move it. It creates a hustle when you're keeping score, my friend.
Do the hustle. Bum, 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 dun, 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 bum, 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 dun, bum,
There's not a lot of flautists out there anymore. That song was all about the flute.
The world needs more flute. I need more flute. But that's the way you do it, Clay. You break it down because you know what? You were being a boss.
Ooh.
Oh. Because you took a big
obstacle
and made it seem
small.
Yeah. Because what you did is you said, 30,000 is a bit. You just broke it down to hourly. That's cool, and that's how you do it, and that's how you have to think about it, and then you can build from that. And so that's cool.
And breaking it down even more, this is what's crazy is I knew every call rep needed to get 25 rejections per hour to produce the number of sales. So I'm on the reps like, let's go. And I learned that from DirecTV when I worked there. It was an auto dialer system where you had to talk to 25 people an hour in order to hit their sales goals. And so I just would encourage every Thriver, dream big. Yes, step 1, dream big. But break it down to the small, get down to the hourly goals if at all possible. I mean, get really specific, really finite. And then you got to think about, what are your numbers to achieve financial freedom? And I view financial freedom as the ability to not have to think about money. That's what I view financial freedom as. If you can just go to the store and you can buy something to eat, you can take care of your family, your food and your shelter and your entertainment, those things are taken care of without you having to think about it and stress out about it, Z, all the time.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the movie Forrest Gump, when he hits all that big lick on, I think, Apple or something. There's like, and then I didn't have to worry about money no more. Financial freedom is wonderful.
Now, step three is if you are a business coaching client and we're coaching you through the process, Joseph, I want to pick your brain on this. Step 3 is you have to establish the number of hours per week that you're willing to work on your business. Now, my friend, you are all in, and I know you're 100% committed to your business, but how many hours a week, are you willing to work in your business or on your business at this point?
Well, currently I get up at about 4 a.m. every day, and then I start cooking. Get my meals prepped up for the day. I deliver them, and then I do have a regular job currently from 1 to 5. So I'm working from 4 a.m. to 12 a.m., and then I get off at 5, and I have to go grocery shopping, get my meals prepped for the next day, and that normally takes from 4 to 5 hours, so till about 9 o'clock at night.
So you're up at 4 a.m.
Yes, sir.
And you work until 9 every day.
Yes, sir.
But you have a big goal. And what is your big goal, my man?
My big goal for this year is only going to be $75,000, and I need 21 customers a day.
All right, now, Z, when we come back, what we're going to do is we're going to get more into this, the step-by-step process, because we had a Thriver who asked us, hey, if I was a business coaching client of yours, how would you help me grow my business? My business is stuck. How could you help me? And so we're breaking down the business coaching process right here live on the thrivetimeshow.com. Check it out.
My name is Nikki Warren, and I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma. The name of my business is The Mocha Butterfly, and I'm a fashion designer. I heard about the Thrivetime Business Workshops through a dear friend of mine, and I got a chance to meet with Clay and Dr. Z. And as I talked to them a little bit more, I loved what they were doing, and it just made me, more intrigued because I really wanted to grow my business. Well, what I've learned is that for my business in particular, marketing is needing to be, I need to step it up a lot more, and the just focusing in on some key things to get that really going is going to really get me where I want to go with my goals. I think it's fun. It's a fun atmosphere, which most business-oriented, I'm an artistic, artsy person, and I tend to lose interest very quickly if I don't have something to keep me engaged. And the humor, the real life experience, and the casualness of it is just really engaging for me, and it's just very relatable. And so for me, I am having a ball. Like, I was so excited to come yesterday. I had butterflies, literally, butterflies in my stomach, and I'm just really excited to be here. Well, it's an interesting place. It's got a lot of words of affirmation and quotes and things like that. Very positive environment. The people here are very nice and friendly, and I love the way the room is set up. It's very open space type of model, and like I said, it's more of a casual environment. It's not stuffy and professional. It's professional, but it's not stuffy professional. There is a difference. And so it's very warm and inviting here. Love the teaching style, love the presentation, very organized and easy to follow. And like I said, the real life experience and the humor just adds that much more to it. I know people who go to different workshops, and I'm not sure if they're grasping all of what's being presented there, but I am almost 100% sure that if they come to a workshop like this one, they will get some great golden information that's going to help them meet their goals if they're willing to apply what they hear. There's no upselling here, which that wasn't really a big concern for me, but if I were talking to someone who's very concerned about upselling, I would tell them that they have no worries here, and that, I think that this environment is very relaxed, inviting, warm, and engaging. And so even it does actually makes you wonder, what else is there? I won't lie about that. So it's kind of more of an independent intrigue rather than someone pushing you into the intrigue of what else is offered. I recommend coming to this workshop because it is an intimate setting, great people. I've met some really cool people doing some cool businesses, and the teaching style and the presentation is awesome.
One shot, everything rides on tonight. Even if I got 3 strikes, I'ma go for it. This moment, we own it. I'm not to be played with because it could get dangerous.
All right, welcome back to the Thrivetime Show on your radio. My name is Clay Clark. I'm the former SBA Entrepreneur of the Year, sent here on a mission to make your financial issues disappear. And Z, before we get back into the whole show today, today's entire show is we're answering a question from a Thriver who has said, hey, I have a business and I'm not growing, so how could your business coaching program help me? As a business coach, what could you do? But before we even get into that, Z, why would anybody even want to start a business?
For 2 things, 2 reasons.
Yeah.
2 very, very, very important reasons.
Here we go.
One is financial freedom, which we talked about a little bit last segment. And the other one is time freedom. And time freedom is when you have financial freedom and time freedom, here's what your day looks like. Whatever you want it to look like.
Do you know a good example of financial freedom and time freedom that was made possible by the Thrive Nation? Z, this actually happened this past weekend, and Sam can verify that it happened, okay? So this weekend, as the Thrivers know, it's been well documented. I'm trying to plant, a tree every weekend, And so I've been talking to the Thrive Nation, and many people are becoming inspired. I think people want to believe in a big cause. They're going, hey, I want to believe in something great. You know, they have
They like oxygen and stuff like that.
well, like they might have a sports team or a religious belief or a political movement. And some people go, you know what? I'm not into religion or politics or sports, but one thing I can get behind is I can help Clay Clark by giving him a tree. And so we had these Thrivers who showed up here. Sam, I'm not exaggerating. They brought 4, 9-foot tall pine trees here?
Yeah, it might have even been 12 foot. They were pretty tall.
And so they've dropped by massive pine trees. We also had a dogwood that was dropped by. And so now we've moved from 72 trees.
Okay.
We just hit 79 trees over the
exciting.
weekend. It's
That's
just
exciting.
unbelievable. And because of the whole time freedom aspect of the businesses, I wasn't at one of the elephant in the room stores. I was not taking photos for a wedding photography shoot. I wasn't running a business. I was able to oversee the transplanting of the trees. And Sam did a fine job, by the way. Sam really, I mean, Sam, how long did it take you? I mean, I was impressed. I got back, I'm like, man, this guy planted these trees in a couple hours. I mean, how long did it take you to plant those trees?
Yeah, it took me about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
Did you just stare at the soil and intimidate it with your strength, or how do you dig that fast?
I just say plant.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Wow. It's like a home and garden show wrapped up in business coaching.
Well, God said, let there be light, and I just said, let there be tree.
Oh, there you go.
Unbelievable.
That'll get her done.
And as Oklahoma's strongest man currently, that's an official title you now hold. It was amazing to see how fast you planted those. But we're moving on here. So step number 3 is you must determine the hours you're willing to work on your business. Now, Z, let's just say, because we don't know a lot about this Thriver, they just said, hey, if my business isn't growing, you know, what could you guys do to help me as a business coach client? Why is it so important that every entrepreneur has to be realistic about the number of hours they're willing to work on the business to create that financial and time freedom?
Well, you know, we started with Thrive15.com, and now we have the radio show, with the podcast, the in-person workshops that you can come out to, and we have the one-on-one business coaching that we do. We started all this so that we can help people that want to grow and build their business. But if they're not willing to take the steps, you can't drag them along. I mean, and that is a rubber meets the road, I mean, just in your face question for them that they need to be honest and open with. And if they say, well, you know, I'm not, because I've seen people start a business and then they don't work on the business and the business shuts down and they just shrug their shoulders and go, wow, that was kind of a waste of time and money. And they're like, dude, it's not about just opening it. You got to continue to work on it. I mean, it doesn't just grow by itself, you know. Those trees didn't get planted by themselves. Sam had to get a shovel and dig a hole and put them in there. And now, of course, Aubrey's going to be taking care of your gardener, your in-home gardening
My
machine.
son is becoming a landscaping machine. You know, the Thrive Nation has discovered MotownTulsa.com, my son's website.
Yeah.
And he now has 2 lawns, and he has the grandmother's.
awesome.
So he's on to 4. And this past weekend, he went out there and mowed. He had a little bit of a malfunction with the weed eater. So Sam, the man, that's going to end up on your list to educate my son how to fix this. But it's a thing where you've got to sit down, Thrivers, and sit down and think about really hard. How many hours a week are you willing to work on this business idea? And if you're not willing to put in the work, I recommend you don't start, Z. I recommend you really don't.
Well, I know where they can grab 5 hours a day, just bam, boom. Just bam. It's like just bam, right? Just
A
going to
genie?
happen.
A genie?
No.
A black hole.
You go find a lamp, rub it, a genie. No. You can Google this, Thrivers, but the average U.S. citizen is watching almost 5 hours of screen time a day. And this is almost TV, too. TV is like a big chunk of that, 4.5 to almost 5 hours.
It's brutal.
You throw in some Facebook. You throw in some other computer time that's, let's call it, is not working on your business, okay? And now you got like 5 hours a day, the average person's watching TV or piddling on their the computer, you know, on Facebook or these types of things.
It's so hard to be successful if you're watching 5 hours of TV a day that no one does it. You know, it's so hard that no one does it. I mean, as I've met these entrepreneurs all around the world, I mean, I've met some millionaires and billionaires, and I ask them, how do you organize your day, your schedule? How do you get it all done? And none of them have said, you know, step 1 is I watch about 5 hours of TV
I watch about 5 hours of random programming. Here's what you do. They have these things called DVRs, and I know everybody out there probably has one.
Is that a diver?
Just DVR it, and then one of these days, when you have your financial freedom and your time freedom, then you can binge watch Game of Thrones all weekend long.
This is an
Then
interesting-
Walking Dead till
Joseph, have you ever
Negan.
watched Game of
Yeah.
Thrones? Would you watch Game of Thrones?
I have not watched Game of Thrones.
Here's the thing that this is what blew my mind as I started spending more and more time with Dr. Z. It's the middle of the workday. I go over there. It's like 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock on a Thursday. We're going to meet up to go over some stuff. And I expect to see him slaving away, making a workflow, making a process. He's got to be looking at the pro forma. He's going to be optimizing a website or leading a team of people. I expect him to have some sort of in-house trust-building exercise leadership workshop for his team.
Faithful.
And then I look and I notice that he's leaning over this aquarium with this large, oversized device. It's like a little pincher kind of a thing where you feed the fish the food. And he's worried about introducing his, is it a gym tang or something?
Yeah, Jim Tang yes.
Introducing a rare fish into its non-native environment amongst these other fish and not trying to ruin the ecosystem. And he's 100% of his mental energy is focused on this. And I told my wife, I said, that is what I want to do. That when you get to a place in your life where you have all the systems so detailed and so in place that you can sit around and when you're not sitting around, you're standing over the aquarium thinking deeply about. I mean, what kind of thoughts were going through your head at that time, my man?
Well, I wanted to make sure the fish was okay. It was a gift from my son, and then also there were some certain anemones in there that or anemone kind of things that you had to feed individually. So I was very purposeful and I had that custom tank put in there. And I enjoyed it. I enjoy a good saltwater fish tank.
Now, Thrivers, step 4, if you want to get to a place in life where you can spend an entire day thinking about the health of your gym tang and its aquarium, its aquatic ecosystem, is you must determine your unique value proposition. Joseph, what do you do that's different from anybody else?
Well, my lunches are made fresh daily. They are made with the highest quality ingredients, and it's a membership program, so you'd only have to order with me one time.
What's your website, my man?
theulb.com.
Now, Dr. Z, when we come back, we're going to get all up in this concept of branding and determining your unique
now we're getting to the good stuff.
value proposition. What makes you different? I know that you love your business. I know you love your customers. I know you have great customer service. But what makes your business unique? Think about it. Write it down. Come back after the break. We'll rejoin you here on the ThriveTimeShow.com.
My name is O'Neil Bent, and I'm from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. I first heard about the business workshops through my wife, Sharita Bent, and I learned a lot more from her, and also got follow-up calls from different members of the organization. Some of the things I've learned about starting my business through Thrive is making sure I'm spending my money on the things I need to spend it on. For instance, like my search engine optimization, my marketing, constantly reviewing the content that I have on my website, and that's just a few of the things. The overall experience I've had from the Thrivetime workshop has been wonderful. I love how everything that we learn is practical. It's not based off of book knowledge. It's not based off of someone else's ideas. It's based off things that have actually worked and have been tried and true. When you walk in, I mean, we came into a smell of wood burning. There's a chimney outside, so we walked to the building. And when you get inside, you almost feel like there's like I don't know if it's like a pub / club / work environment. It just feels really good. You have music blaring, friendly faces, people saying hello, and then when you sit down in your seat, you have nice, comfortable chairs, a wooden desk to work on, and everything looks modern. So it's a really refreshing feeling. Clay's presentation and teaching style is very efficient, effective. It's also endearing though, because he's very comical. He'll talk about different things he's been through, and they're all very funny. But he also hits the exact points he needs to hit at the right time. You never feel like, man, is he ever going to stop talking? You always want to keep listening, and then when it's the bathroom break time, you're surprised it's already there. So I like how he talks about these practical experiences, and it's very enjoyable. The interaction of the workshop is mostly Clay will give you information that you need to know, but then he also opens it up for questions. So there's always this question and response type of situation. And then there's certain things where he'll direct you to do things, and it's because he knows that that's the way to go. You might question it, but I highly encourage you just to listen and do. And to jump into a business and think that you know everything is the most prideful, arrogant thing you could ever do. But to come here and to speak to someone who's already done this many times, has directed several businesses, and can give you wisdom and information, I think it's wonderful. And I think you can never do anything on your own. You have to have other people around you to help you, and he's definitely helpful. The experience I've had at coming to Thrivetime workshops is I was never upsold anything. I mean, I come in, they do exactly what they say they're going to do, and they leave it up to you to follow up and do the work. And I think that's the way it should be. So it's very straightforward, and they do what they say. I recommend that everybody should check out Thrivetime Workshop, because there's so much knowledge and information there that you can use to help you run your business. And like I said before, I don't think you can do anything completely on your own. And when you have so much resource and knowledge in one area, you can use all of that and get exactly what you need.
Thrive Nation, welcome back into the conversation. It is the Thrivetime Show on your radio, your daily audio dojo of mojo. It's business school without the BS. And yes, my name is Clay Clark. I'm the former SBA Entrepreneur of the Year, sent here to make your financial issues disappear. And with me, I tell you what, it is ecstasy when he is next to me. It is Dr. Z. How are you, sir?
I am fantastic. It's good to be back at the Box That Rocks. I know I don't catch every show, but I try to. You know, sometimes I'm out of town and enjoying my financial freedom and time freedom that I've worked hard to achieve. So
now, Dr. Z, we're talking today we're answering a question from a Thriver that I love that it's vague, because it kind of gives us some different ways we can handle it, but we're going off of the question. He says, hey, I already have a business. And how could your business coaching program, how could your business coaching philosophy help me grow my business? And so we're working off the premise that he has an existing company of some kind. It's not just an LLC. We're assuming he has some customers coming in and out. And so we said step one, you've got to establish your revenue goals. Step two, you want to establish the number of customers needed to break even and to achieve financial freedom. 3, you got to establish the number of hours you're willing to work on your business. So important. Now, step 4 is you have to determine your unique value proposition. What makes you different? And so, Z, I'm going to see if you can kind of educate the Thrivers out there by helping Mr. Joseph over here.
Well, not so fast.
Whoa!
It's time to play Thrive Nation's favorite new game. And I'm using that call to the post because we just had the Kentucky Derby. And you know me, I'm a huge Kentucky Derby horse fan. All right, so the new game is this, Thrivers. As you know, we have built Thrive15.com, which is the world's best business coaching website. And now for the first month, it's $1. So what I like to do is go to Walmart, or actually send somebody to Walmart, and have them buy random stuff and then play the game with Clay, because he is the world's best business coach. But sometimes he's not a real good, I don't think he'd do well on, what are those
Price
shows?
is Right?
Yeah, The Price is Right.
Well, you know why that is? Because I never go out. I'm always inside the Box That Rocks.
Yeah.
Or I'm doing our workshops.
Yeah.
Or, those kind of things where I'm chasing my wife around and trying to plant trees all over my property.
And Vanessa's the one doing all the grocery shopping anyway. So here, since it's lunchtime, I thought it'd be appropriate. I have a box here of Hot Pockets.
Hot Pockets.
Hot Pockets. And just full disclosure, there's 2 sandwiches in here, and it's ham and cheddar croissant crust. Now, which cost more, this box of Hot Pockets or the first month of Thrive?
I have 2 qualifying questions.
Okay, go ahead.
1, how much sodium is in there?
A lot.
Let's see. I mean, is it
a lot?
Okay. So I'm gonna.
You won't need any more sodium the rest of the month. So
Well,
boom,
with
boom,
that, I'll ask
You're
you just that one
You're
qualifying question. I would just say that Hot Pockets have got to be over $1 because they're hot and there's a pocket. There's two things there. So I'm going to say it's definitely more than $1.
You are correct. That's one of the few you've won.
Yes.
It's $2.37, whereas now, this could you could get two. You could get 2 monthly subscriptions.
You could. And Thrivers, that's what you should be doing right now. You need to go on to Thrive15.com and sign up, because when you sign up for Thrive15.com, it now includes access to our in-person workshops as part of the subscription, Z. So you can sign up for the world's best business school for $1. And now you can bring your friends, and you can bring yourself to an in-person workshop. It's all included. You definitely want to check it out. And Z, we're talking now about the unique value proposition. So, Joseph, can you explain to the Thrive Nation, what's the name of your business and what problem do you solve for the city of Tulsa?
So it's called the Urban Lunchbox, and we provide convenient nutrition by delivering healthy lunches that are made fresh and delivered directly to you on a daily basis. So basically, we help people have access to a healthier diet without having to make it themselves.
Now, Z, that right there in and of itself sounds like a unique value proposition. I mean, it sounds unique that you are making the food fresh every day and you're delivering it. But Z, what if you were going to coach him, and I know you're not a business coach, you're an optometrist turned tycoon who puts up with a business coach every day. But what advice would you have for Joseph as he begins to go out there into the marketplace and tell Tulsa what he does differently from maybe other food delivery services out there?
Well, we have our systems and our steps, and one of the things he needs to figure out is who his most likely buyer is. When you're starting off, you've got to really do kind of guerrilla warfare marketing. I mean, you got to be really like snipers. You can't just machine gun, because most people don't have a lot. Most people don't have a lot of money, so you got to think sniper. Think that you're up on a building, and you got you're coded like the movie. And
you got a red dot.
Binoculars. You got a red dot.
The way I think it goes down is you're going, I think I have a
I think that
red
guy over
dot
there.
on
I
me.
think that
There's
guy
a
over there
red
needs a
dot.
lunchbox.
And then
like a Lunchable. Just someone.
I want to work on my machine gun sound. I think my machine gun, I think I got the sniper sound is pretty good. The sniper is kind of because you have a silencer on there, kind of a. But I feel like the machine gun's more of a. I need to work on being more aggressive with that.
Yeah, exactly. So what happens is you sit down and say, "Hey, who's most likely to use this product?" And sometimes you might want to go out and do a little survey, a little marketing, ask some questions, go to the mall to just start, randomly talking to folks. You'd be surprised when you say, "Hey, would you ever think of this?" And then what you can do is you can build this person that you're after. You can build. It's like Blinding Me with Science, or that thing with the science, where he's building the perfect person. You build a perfect customer, and then you say, okay, now where's that customer hang out? How do I get to that customer? How do I find that customer?
And Joseph, I'm going to ask you this. So who is your ideal and likely buyer? What kind of people are responding positively to your urban lunchbox concept?
So people who are stuck in an office, or people who are currently meal prepping for themselves but are tired of forgetting their lunches or having to cook it as well.
Do you remember when you and I went out for a quasi brunch?
I still have that $5 bill you gave me.
Ah, okay.
It's on my cork board.
So we went out for a quasi brunch. How did I order the meal?
You basically just walked up to the gentleman and said, "I want the healthiest thing on the menu."
And I don't care what it is, because I'm in a hurry and I just want something healthy, right?
Yeah.
And then he's asking me all these questions like, do you want it? What do you want? Do I want it toasted? Do you want to? I can't remember what he asked me, but he will start asking me questions, which is normal for a restaurant.
Yes.
And I'm going, just whatever you'd want, man.
Yeah, just whatever the healthiest things. What did it turn out to be? And what is a quasi brunch? What is quasi?
Well, it's kind of a deal. We had an in-person workshop, and Joseph attended, and he had some questions, and I wanted to sneak a quick bite to eat in. And so he was with me, and when we were together grabbing food, I kind of had this epiphany where I'm saying, you know what? I think I am your ideal and likely buyer, because I want to eat healthy. So by default, if I didn't have your service, I would either A, not eat, or B, I would eat at Taco Bueno every meal.
Yeah.
I mean, every meal I would just go Bueno, like every time. I'd be like, well,
there it is.
Let's go to Bueno.
Bueno. Yeah.
I mean, Sam, you like to eat healthy. You're into powerlifting, that kind of thing.
I love to eat healthy, and when I'm working here, we're so busy, I either don't eat or I make a chicken shake.
Now, talk about the chicken shake for those people who aren't, because this is not something you're ordering from the Urban Lunchbox, right? I mean, they don't. Joseph, you don't make chicken shakes.
No chicken shakes here. We do have chicken, though.
He probably doesn't condone the chicken shake.
Can you explain, Sam, to the Thrivers out there what a chicken shake is, and maybe how that's helped you achieve the status as Oklahoma's strongest man right now in your recent workout competition?
Well, basically, every weekend I'll go out and I'll buy 5 to 6 pounds of chicken breast, just because it's a higher count in protein, and then I'll cook it up, and I'll boil it. Makes it flavorless mostly, and then I'll chop it up and portion out per a pound a day, and then I'll throw that in a blender the night before with an avocado, about 2 cups of spinach, and a scoop of chocolate whey protein, just to kind of help with the flavor.
Oh my God. Chocolate chicken shake. It's getting crazier by the minute, Thrivers. Oh,
Sam, where is this workout competition? Where do you go to work out? Or where, I guess, what is it, a powerlifting meet? Explain to the Thrivers who have no idea what we're talking about how you claimed your title as Oklahoma's strongest man.
Yeah, it's a powerlifting meet. This last one, I drove out to Arkansas, and it's an all-day event. You know, it starts at 8 in the morning, and we finish about 4 o'clock. And you have 3 attempts at each lift. You got the squat, the bench, and the deadlift. I trained 6 months out of the year for each meet. This next one, I'm only having a two months to train for, and I'm planning on moving up to number 10 in the nation.
Is this an all steroids competition? I mean, is everybody on steroids or just half the field? Or what are the rules on steroids?
It is a non-drug tested federation, but that does not mean that I am taking drugs.
Okay.
That means I'm going up against people that could potentially be on.
potentially.
There's got to be somebody on roids if they're not testing. There's got to be somebody. Some of those guys, but you're stronger than those guys. I mean, I know it's unbelievable. I truly, Sam, if someone wants to watch you lift this weight, where can they find this? Is there video footage out there? Is there photography? Is there any way we can prove that you are, in fact, the strongest man?
There is going to be a meet here in Tulsa. It's actually going to be in Broken Arrow on June 24th at True Strength Gym in Broken Arrow, right next to Duffy's. It's going to be an all-day event. Come out and watch it.
Unbelievable. How much yelling do you do when you're lifting? Are you a screamer?
I am a screamer.
Now, Z, when we come back, we're going to talk about improving your overall branding. Now, improving your branding is a challenge because if you've never done it before, it might be even hard to know where to even start. So when we come back, we're going to talk about the basics of improving your branding and the specific steps that you need to take to make a world-class brand because people do judge a book by the cover. Learn more at thrivetimeshow.com. We'll see you after the break.
Sam Parker.
Okay. I'm Karina Parker.
We live here in town.
We're looking to be in the food industry. Thrivetime workshops, we've learned about advertising and what we need to do to get our name out there, what we need to do to get to the top of Google, the necessary steps that we need to take right now to get to where we want to be.
The Thrivetime workshop experience is really encouraging, and it's great hands-on information and stuff that we can relate to because we're able to talk to people here that are going through the same stuff that we are.
There's motivation everywhere. If you don't feel motivated, then something's wrong with you.
He's very upbeat.
All over the walls.
Yeah. He's very funny, like a comedian, but at the same time, he wants you to learn. And so if you have any questions, he's willing to help you and talk you through any questions that you have, but at the same time, making it fun and encouraging for you.
He's also very candid. He doesn't hold anything back that most people are like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't say that because it's offensive.
Yeah, you can tell he's being real.
He doesn't care about offending people.
Yeah, he just wants to help you.
So I heard an advertisement that said to leave your wallet at home, and I mean, that's what it's been the whole time. It hasn't been like, oh, make sure you stop by our table in the back and buy 10 books and sign up for a 2-year subscription with us. It was just like, hey, what we do offer, there wasn't pressure, and it's a month-to-month thing. It's not like you're signing your life away.
I made a mixtape in my dorm room. I can't believe this. It doesn't seem true. I won't stop though till everybody knows.
It's the Thrivetime Show.
Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here.
If you've started at the bottom and you're still at the bottom, that's not good, but you don't have to stay there. See, there's so many entrepreneurs, and unfortunately, according to Forbes, 8 out of 10 entrepreneurs start the business, you're at the bottom, with no sales, and they end up failing. 8 out of 10.
I know, it breaks our heart. And that's why we started 3 years ago down this journey of providing business coaching to the world. Folks, in the box that rocks, it's certified, the world's best business coach in Clay Clark, okay? It's certified, it's done, just book it, okay? And he came to me 3 years ago and said, hey, I want to business coach more people than I can physically do it. And I said, oh, well, okay, what are we going to do, clone you? I mean, that was one of
the things
we
I
just
thought
threw
about
ideas
was,
out there. One of them was cloning.
Well, and my second idea was we'll just mic you at all times, Z, and you'll have a 24-hour, 24/7, like a Truman Show, and people will just watch you make decisions, and they'll go, oh, I should do that. Okay, that's what I should be doing.
Trust me, that's not.
And you were not okay with that.
Well, it was a suggestion. I mean,
it was a suggestion.
Yeah,
we were
brainstorming. Yeah, we're brainstorming. And so then you said, oh, I know. Why don't we do this? Why don't we build like a Netflix of business coaching, go around the world, around the United States, and find great guys and gals that have started successful businesses, capture their story, capture their little secret sauce, and then have it available in little bite-sized segments, like 15 minutes, to the world. And that's what we've done. Now we've got people in, I don't know how many, 30, 50 countries.
You know, people in about 50 countries right now who go on to Thrive 15 on a daily basis. And what's incredible is that the online school, it's $1 for your first month, and it's $19 a month thereafter. There's no student debt. You're not locked into a contract. And if you can't afford it, you can set your price as low as $1. And it's actually free for all the members of the military, the veterans, the active duty, the reserve. I mean, it's an unbelievable game-changing experience for people who want that knowledge. But today, we had a Thriver who reached out to us and said, listen, I own a business, and I'm curious, as a business coach, you know, what could your business coaching platform do for me? Well, we don't know any details of the business other than this was the question. And so, but I love that it started with a question, because here's what I see a lot of times. People look at someone who's successful, and they quickly attribute it to some kind of luck. They go, well, it's probably just luck. You know, it's probably just it's karma. It's a spiritual habit force. Maybe they're scamming people. Perhaps they know the right people. Perhaps they, inherited some money. But very few people sit down and say, what specifically did you do, and what can I do to get there too? And so today, we are walking you through the specific steps you need to take to get from where you are to where you want to be. So step number 5 is you must improve your branding. Now, see, when we talk about branding is that first impression that people have of your business when they see it. It's the website, it's the print pieces, it's the logo, it's the business card, it's anything the customer sees and touches. So I want to start with Joseph, the founder of the Urban Lunchbox, on the show today. Joseph, when you started branding your business, what are some of the questions that came to your mind, or what were some of the, the struggles and some of the concepts you had to work through, or maybe you are still working through as you're building your brand?
How can I make it more simple? Because I know simplicity is a lot harder than complex. What colors should I use? What do people want to see? And then I had to get a business coach to kind of help me through that process. But they did help me through that process, and I needed to figure out, what do people want to see whenever they first see it? How do they want it to be presented? And I wanted it to be the best it could possibly be. So I went online and I searched business coaching and got some help with my branding.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Now, I know it might be kind of self-serving because our team has helped you. But we are passionate about helping the entrepreneurs we work with to have success, and to have success as quickly as possible. For them to have success, we don't want people to spend 4 years on their logo. So how challenging was it for you as a person going through the coaching program to make some of those decisions on the logo and the colors? And I mean, was it challenging? Was it stressful? Was it not? Or
it was very simple. I mean, I was shown a few options of the ideas that I had given them that I wanted, and they tweaked it very quickly, probably within a week, and my idea of my logo took about a week and a half to 2 weeks.
And what's your website now? Where can some people look at your current website?
TheULB.com.
TheULB.com?
Yes, sir.
And what does that stand for?
The Urban Lunchbox.
And what's your offer you're making for all the Tulsans out there who are wanting to eat healthy but maybe find themselves being a little bit too busy to make those good decisions?
So your first lunch is always just $1.
Now, Z, okay, so you're a master of branding. You've decided to put the Z on everything in town. When you were first starting out and you're still a young man, but as a very young man, as a young boy, when you started your business 25 years ago.
I was a little pup.
when you started the business, talk to me about how you decided on the logo. What was the process that you went through to make that now iconic logo for Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates?
I sat down with some people that were good at it. My Aunt Matilda wanted to help me with my logo.
Oh,
but,
Robert, I have this great idea. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
I drew it myself.
Yeah, she likes to
I
do a
love
little
you.
paint by numbers and do some special stuff, But I went to some professionals and I sat down with them and I knew I wanted. I was always a big fan growing up of Zorro. I just was. He'd go around, put that Z all over the place. It was just cool. It was like, oh, we know who is here. That's just cool. And as a kid, I just kind of liked that and it stuck in my brain. And so I thought, well, I'm just going to have a kind of a logo Z. And so we worked on it and we stretched it out. We pulled it. We did this. We tried different fonts, different things. And finally, after a couple of days working on it, I looked back and I said, that's the Z.
Now, Thrivers, I'm going to give you a little mentor moment here. It's so hard to steer a parked bus. So if you have a bus and it's parked, it's a little bit harder to steer that. So here's an example. What was the original name of Google? Maybe you already know this, but when Google first started, what was their original, very few people know this, what was their original name they came up with, Joseph? For 500 mega points, not redeemable.
Not redeemable anywhere.
Anywhere, but it makes you feel good.
I'll give you these Hot Pockets if you get it right.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I can't remember.
remember.
If you had asked me 20 minutes ago, I would have.
Sam, could you remember? Do you know the name that Google started out with?
Back rub.
Oh, he did know.
He did know. There's a Hot Pocket, Sam.
Oh, because he's
with
been
plenty of sodium.
But see, a lot of people don't know that. Well, why did they start with the name Back Rub? Well, they needed to start with some name. They had this idea of indexing the internet and helping people find relevant content, and they're like, you know what? We can't get stuck on an idea. Let's just name it this. Well, over time they moved on and they named it Google, and now we know it as Google. Facebook started out as the Facebook. Starbucks started out selling coffee grinders. Their niche was they sold coffee grinders.
Yeah.
They didn't sell coffee every day. They sold coffee grinders. And then Howard Schultz walks in and goes, guys, you guys are selling. Howard Schultz, now the CEO of Starbucks, he was a retired white-collar executive. And he says, hey, he kind of retired early and was looking for something else new to do. And he's going, guys, if you actually sold the coffee and not just the grinders and the beans, perhaps we could make millions. And they're like, no, I don't think so. And so, but the thing is that they said, okay, we'll go ahead and let you get started here. But you have to start. You can't just get stuck looking for that perfect idea. I mean, so you've probably refined your logo or your colors over time.
A little bit, not much. I mean, I've kind of kept as I've done different businesses, it's pretty much stayed the same. And one thing you've got to understand is you stick to it and then you pour into that branding, try not to change it. I mean, there's a reason why Tiffany's does not change the color of their blue box. Now, if I were to give you a gift and it's in a Kmart sack or a Tiffany box, it's the same exact gift. What would you, Clay? How would you respond to that? Why would you think anything different? Would you think anything
first
different
off,
about
just
it?
in a straight man-on-man relationship, if you came up to me and you said, I have a gift for you, and it's in a Kmart bag, then I would first look at you with a little bit of with our dynamic, I would look at you and say, thank you, thank you with a question, because I wouldn't be sure, I wouldn't know what you would have bought me that I would want that's at Kmart, because all I want is books and trees. I love autobiographies and trees.
Yeah.
So I'm going, this is not either. Maybe it's a clever little gift. But then if you gave me in a Tiffany box, I would then begin to question the nature of our relationship. And I would then begin to understand that you are, in fact, serious about that next step because you went to Tiffany's to buy me something.
Okay, maybe not giving it to you, just giving it to somebody.
Then I would begin to wonder, why does he think I love diamonds? Do I need to cut metal? I mean, I'm a very utilitarian man, so I don't know what I would do with diamonds. No, but in all sincerity, it changes the perception. When you see a ring presented in a Tiffany box or a box that has less prestige, the way that you process it, I mean, even if you were a scammer and you bought the crappiest ring in the world, this cubic zirconium, totally tacky, you bought it, it was like it's totally a mock. It's a sham, it's a scam, it's not a real ring, but you put it in a Tiffany box, I bet you that you could pull off a pretty healthy scam to somebody who didn't know that it's not a real ring. I mean, you could probably pull that off, Z.
Yeah, they'd probably say yes, or I do, or whatever.
I'm going to write that down as a new business model.
As a new business model. But the point is that once you get your branding, you want to keep it and you want to pump it and you want to build it up. You know, pump that thing up.
pump it up.
You have to pump up your branding. And that's why logo creation is so important. I think it's a very important first step when you're starting out in your business. And Joseph obviously did the right steps. You know, he found some professionals. He sat down with them. He had some ideas because it is his business and it is his baby. So he had some ideas and he sat down with the guys and said, hey, this is a first stab. I'm not an artist, but, you know, something like this. And they took it, the professionals, and they you know, kind of groomed it, kind of like you do in the elephant in the room. And a guy comes in, he's got kind of a mop on his head, you know. You guys kind of groom it. Then when he leaves, he looks high and tight, you know. And that's what they did with the logo.
Now, if for anybody who wants to experience your brand, who's maybe new, Joseph, to your brand, who hasn't yet to have been to your website, what's your website again there?
TheULB.com.
And what do you guys provide? What kind of solutions are you providing for the people of Tulsa who are just now tuning in?
We are providing healthy lunches that are delivered directly to you on a daily basis.
What if I want to automate my fatness and I want things that are made with total heavy amounts of highly processed food, and I just want cake and processed food and things with zero nutritional value, very empty calories? Have you ever had anybody who wants to automate their weight gain? Do you do that? Is that a niche?
I have had people that want to automate their weight gain, but they don't necessarily want to get fat. They just want a little bit more protein or a little bit more vegetables and cut the carbs out.
So if you're looking to get in shape or to eat healthier, you might be a good solution. But if you're looking to gain copious amounts of excess weight from empty calories and highly processed food, you probably don't have a solution for them. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, no solutions for those who want to get bigger.
I'm going to start a company for you, Clay. It's going to be called the Urban Trash Bag.
Really?
It's going to be full of crappy food.
Okay, awesome. Now, the next move here is create a three-legged marketing stool. Step number 6. Z, why is it so important that every entrepreneur has 3 ways that they go out there and attract new customers?
Well, we've done a lot of the heavy lifting for you here at Thrive15.com and Thrivetimeshow.com. And we have just bored it down because we're trying to be a business coach platform for you. And we've figured out that all your eggs in one basket is not a good idea in marketing. And so we have broke it down, and we think 3, from our years of experience and years of doing this over and over and over and over with other businesses, that we have just determined that 3 is the magic number. And it's kind of nice because a stool needs 3 legs to kind of be, you know, balanced. And so it's kind of the 3-legged marketing stool. So the idea is that you don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Ooh.
That makes sense. In other words, you don't say, okay, here's my marketing budget. Now we want to take that marketing budget and we want to go after 3 distinct areas.
Now, Z, at our next in-person workshop, if you want to get your tickets, by the way, Thrivers, go to Thrivetimeshow.com. That's Thrivetimeshow.com. We will go through hundreds of ways that you could market to your ideal and likely buyers so you can narrow it down to your favorite 3. However, when we come back, Joseph is going to be walking us through his 3-legged marketing stool that he's using to market the Urban Lunchbox. Stay tuned. It's Thrivetimeshow.com.
My name is Sean Lohman, and I'm from here in Tulsa, actually, Owasso. I own a residential redevelopment company, so I buy properties and then I fix them up and then I sell them for a profit. Well, Thrive is very non-industry specific. So when we come here, there's business owners from all different aspects of business. You know, they're doing all different industries, and he's teaching us how to look at it from that angle because he owns 9 businesses. Clay Clark owns 9 businesses, so he knows what's in common with all of them. So he's teaching these big principles, things like just the backbone of how a sales conversation should look, or specifically what your marketing campaign needs to look like in order to make it be sustainable. Those are some of the biggest things that I'm going to take away and implement immediately. It's an intimate environment. You know, there's less than 30 people here, business owners, so you get a chance to ask questions, and it's just really informative and inspiring. Oh, this place is cool. There's a lot going on in here. There's a lot to look at. There's a lot of inspiring and motivational things on the walls and lots of accomplishments and just a very cool yet productive atmosphere. I'm coming in here yesterday and, you know, there's a sales team in here. It was Friday. So, you know, they're ringing appointment bells and hitting gongs when they're making sales, and it's just a really motivating environment to be in, to see, you know, how this business is done, basically. Clay's presentation style is really great. This is kind of a no BS, very direct sort of style, but he'll also get, you know, non-specific with what he's teaching, and then he'll get very specific, and he'll use stories throughout the process to really help it connect to you and make it implementable. Consistently, he's offered an opportunity to ask questions at the end of each workshop, and so that's really where, you know, the learning takes place, is asking those questions and getting those direct answers so that we can, you know, take those action items away from that. I don't see enough questions being asked, and sometimes that's just natural, but if people are missing out on the opportunity to ask questions, they're missing out on the opportunity to learn. And so if there's anything that's going to stop you from learning and growing, it's you. If you're here, you're going to learn and grow, as long as you're motivated to do that. And these other seminars that I went to 6 actually in the last year. So of these 6, at every single opportunity, you know, at the end, there's always a back of the room thing. Hey, you can spend a little money here and get this or that or this. And although those things are helpful, that's not always necessarily the best feeling we want to get. So he wants us all to know, and he's very clear about the fact that he's not trying to upsell us anything. His motivations are different. He's not trying to sell us. He's trying to help us. He's trying to mentor us. And he's very open about it. So I'd say it's awesome. That aspect of it's awesome. We need more people who are motivated in this world. We need more people who are willing to become entrepreneurs, who are willing to create jobs. We need more of that. There's not enough of it. So that's, to me, the message. That's the goal, is mentor 1 million people is this company's idea. And it's a beautiful idea, and I'm behind it 100%. So I want to contribute in any way I can as I move forward. This is just awesome.
Don't you give up, nah, nah, nah. I won't give up, nah, nah, nah. Let me love you. Let me love you.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back into the daily conversation. It is the Thrivetime Show on your radio. It's business school without the BS. And yes, this is a free country, so you're free to do anything you want to do, listen to whatever you want to listen to. So we appreciate you investing in yourself and learning the practical steps that you can take to turn your dream of financial freedom and time freedom into reality. So we are humbly here before you today as America's most humble business coach. My name is Clay Clark. I'm the former SBA Entrepreneur of the Year, the father of 5 kids, and so I know what it's like to have a lot on your plate. But Z, as an entrepreneur, you eventually have to sit down and come up with your 3-legged marketing stool, because customers are not going to wake up with a burning desire to pay you. I mean, you've got to go out there and get them.
Absolutely. And marketing is one of the areas that I really enjoy. I personally, I just love it. And so therefore, I like to do that part in my business. You know, I write my own commercials. I do my own, I make my own ads. And it's a part that I have a passion for. But if you don't, there are a lot of great, you know, people out there that can help you with that. Because sometimes it gets a little intimidating. You know, sometimes it can be a little, where do I start? Which ones would I do? And that's why business coaching is our passion. We love to do it because we love to see businesses succeed.
You know, at Thrive 15, with our business coach program, we can build people's website. We can do the photography. We can do their web development. We can do their search engine optimization, their online ads. We can help them create performas, systems, and workflows, all for less money than most people would spend on hiring one $10 an hour employee. However,
a barista. I like it when you always call them a barista. A barista.
Yeah, I mean, for less than hiring a barista. However, one thing we don't do currently, and I'm not saying we couldn't do it in the future, but currently, Z, we do not write jingles.
Well, wait a second. You wrote a very inspired jingle the other day for Regent Bank, and
do you have it queued up, or should I cue it up?
I think you should cue it up. But,
okay, give me just a second. Let me get the band ready. Let me get the band ready.
Okay, get the band ready. It's Regent Bank is one of our sponsors of the show, and so we took it upon ourselves. They didn't ask us to write them a professional jingle. So I will call you out on that. I mean, in fact, we have wrote one, and I was talking to Sean Copeland the other day, and he was, I think, very moved by the attempt. I'm not sure he's going to adopt it into their platform, but I think he was very moved by the attempt of us to write a jingle.
The band is ready, and we've only practiced. Z and I have only practiced this for about 36 hours so far.
Yeah, something like that.
And when I say practice, it's kind of a loose term. It's more of we intended and we thought about it, and through osmosis, through the power of the subconscious mind during the hours where most people are sleeping, and when we in fact were sleeping, I was able to telecommunicate the lyrics to the song. and I'm pretty excited what we did. And it's the thing is, when you come up with a good idea, it'll feel familiar. You know, people will start to say...
It does kind of feel familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah,
You mention it.
people, when they hear it, they say, I feel like I've heard it somewhere. And that's really when you know...
You know you've hit it.
You've hit it. It's a hit. It's a jam.
Yeah.
And all it needs is now is just a little more cowbell.
Yeah.
On the track.
Yeah.
And then it would be to that next level. So, Thrivers, this is a rough draft, but Sam, can we go ahead and hit it, please? In the lobby of Regent Bank. Oh, Regent Bank. Regent Bank. Let me turn it up a little bit here.
Boy, that does sound familiar, doesn't it? So good.
Oh, Regent Bank. Oh, Regent Bank.
Oh, I
You're
just
looking
love
for free checking.
I love it.
Maybe they have free checking. Maybe they charge for, I don't know. Regent Bank. Regent Bank. It's growing 8 times faster than the national average.
Sometimes 10.
Sometimes 10. You get a free sucker. Don't be a sucker. Go to Regent Bank. We want to see you in the lobby of a Regent Bank. And we have to stop right there because I don't want to injure my sacroiliac. I have a major powerlifting competition coming up
No, that's Sam. You
that I've not been training for at all. And I'm ready to get in there and throw around maybe 100 pounds, maybe 80 pounds.
You'd shortcut it. You'd take some roids. I know you. You'd be like, just,
Sam, on the radio right now, you're explain to the Thrive Nation who's not aware of the powerlifting world, how many hours a week are you devoting to getting to be stronger and improving your personal best, your squats, your deadlifts, your bench presses? How many hours a week are you devoting to this?
Training wise, I'm dedicating about, I'd say, 6 to 12 hours a week. But as a powerlifter, everything that you do has to be towards your training. So when I eat, it's focused on improving my body and making me stronger. So I would say that 24 hours a day, I'm constantly thinking about my training.
Well, Thrive Nation, we not only have a power lifter inside the box that rocks today, but we have Joseph, who's bringing the power meals. Talk about a power meal to the Thrive Nation. He's got the Urban Lunch Box. They deliver healthy food to your office, to your place of work, to your home, made fresh daily, delivered daily. Joseph, what's your three-legged marketing stool? How are you going out there right now and acquiring new customers, my main man?
Well, right now I'm doing the Dream 100, which has actually created a lot of referral-based marketing, and then I'm doing search engine optimization, which I just started since my website just came up, and Facebook ads.
So let's start with the Dream 100. What does that mean to the Thrivers? What are you doing? Kind of walk us through what the Dream 100 looks like.
So what I did was I took I wrote down a list of 100 businesses, wrote their addresses down, and what I do is I take 2 lunches in one sheet that was made for me, and I drop it off and say, my name's Joseph. I'm with the Urban Lunchbox. What we do is deliver healthy lunches that are made fresh daily and delivered directly to you. Do you mind giving this one to your boss? And I'm going to give you a free lunch as well.
Wow, nice move. Now, when you say one sheet, somebody's out there going, what does he mean by a one sheet?
Well, it ain't a 2 sheet. I'll
tell you what, sometimes they 1 sheet, 2 sheet, 3 sheet, 4.
Oh, man.
Is 5 sheets better? Give him some more?
Well, I'll tell you what. You get 4 sheets, and then you
explain that, Joseph. What is a one sheet for those out there that just kind of that slip by them?
So a one sheet is one sheet that tells every single thing you need to know about your business. Mine shows my meal packages, what proteins we offer, the pricing of the meal package, and on the reverse side, it tells you exactly what we do, what ingredients we use, how it works.
Now, if you are out there doing the Dream 100 system and you need help building a one sheet, a website, a logo, the Thrive15.com team can help you. Go up there, sign up for a one-on-one assessment. We can help you. But when you go out there, I don't care who you are and how great your marketing is and how great of a product it is you have. You've got to get about 100 rejections for every one yes, because you're showing up at somebody's business, and a lot of times they won't even accept a free meal. But you're doing well. So I'm going to ask you, when you go to 100 people and you drop off this stuff, when you go to your 100 Dream 100 contacts, how many people are saying, yeah, sure, I'll give her a whirl, and how many people are just shutting you down?
A lot of people shut me down. I'm going to say about 80% of the people I talk to shut me down. So
I love the old shutdown.
I get about 2 out of every 10. So I try to do it 10 a day, and then I get about 2 phone calls.
Now, see, with your auto auction, when your sales guys are out there trying to convince the Tulsa's used car dealers that the deals are a little bit sweeter at Dr. Z's Auto Auction, Z66 Auto Auction, Z66AA.com if you're listening right now and you are a used car dealer. When your guys are out there trying to preach the good news.
Yes, the good news.
And the gospel of the auto auction, talk to me about what kind of rejection rate do those guys get?
Not very high, because the thing about it is that the auto auction business, everybody can either be a buyer or a seller. Now, sometimes you have to build the relationships, and so we only have about 1,000 people that is our target. So our thousands are 1,000, you know.
Now, Z, the next question I'd have for the Thrivers out there is, how do you actually execute a search engine optimization game plan? Well, a lot of people want to know, how do you do it? I mean, how do you execute search engine optimization? When we come back, Joseph is going to be walking us through his search engine optimization game plan. Stay tuned. Thrivetimeshow.com.
My name is Tyler Schultz with Witness Security from here in Tulsa. Well, I actually started listening to Thrive on the radio, 1170, and then I got my dad into listening to the show, and then it actually turned into Clay gave us a call, and we started actually working with Clay on a weekly basis. He's helped us drastically when it comes to the SEO, getting us a little bit higher in different markets. Then he offered the conference and just learned a lot when it comes to the sales and the employee side of things. It's going to help our business drastically. Oh, very intuitive, just pulling you in to break down each part of your business. The interview process, the employee process. If employee's not working out, you let them go. It's a drastic experience. You just have to come and check it out. I mean, there's so many things that they can help you with. Clay's a funny guy. He just wants to get into each and every person's business and help you out. Oh, I know I've asked a couple of questions, and he's broken down that question and answered it in several different ways. There are so many different things. The SEO, first and foremost, he will help you get the more business coming in, and then once that is coming in, then he helps you with the employee process of do I need to hire more people? What do I need to put in place? And he gets you there. You hear of all the other different type conferences, and I myself have never been to one, but the walking on coals and all that stuff, that just seems like a bunch of hype that isn't really needed. And I know of several people that have gone to those type conferences, and yet they haven't, because there's no actionable deals, you really don't have any moving forward steps. It's just hype, and it's not needed. Well, just the cost in of itself versus $6,000 for one conference and no actionable steps versus $1,500 and there is actionable steps. You can't beat it.
All right, I know that each and every one of our shows is transcribed on thrivetimeshow.com, so you can read the entire transcript of every show. And I know that the North Koreans are tuning in right now, so I just want to make sure that Kim Jong-un gets a big "How you doing?" from the Thrive Nation here. We hope you lose. Mr. Putin, hopefully if you're listening to the show, hopefully you guys can reinvigorate your economy with some capitalistic ideas that you can learn on today's show. And if you're in the Tulsa area and you're driving by and you happen to be Kim Jong-un, you'll notice that your face is on the side of my Hummer, which Sam has helped to fully restore here. I ran over some stuff and it deflated some tires and it needed a new battery. And so Sam got it all up to speed. And now the Kim Jong-un theme Hummer is now available for your viewing pleasure at the Thrive15.com world headquarters, Dr. Z.
It makes me giggle every time I look at it because on the side of it says, why does Kim Jong-un hate Thrive 15 so much?
I got so many dirty looks driving that thing around.
Because they don't want capitalism.
I had a kid in my neighborhood. I had my windows down. He goes, "That is not right. that's not. I'm like, he got so offended.
Not only is it not right, it's far right. It's the most far right conservative worldview you could possibly have.
Absolutely.
Now, Thrive Nation, we're talking today about the answers to a question that we have a Thriver who emailed us, and they said, how can your business coaching program help me grow my business? So we're working off of the hunch that you already have an existing company. And we're also working off the assumption that you really don't know what you don't know. And so we're firing through the 13 proven business steps, the moves that Dr. Z and I have implemented in our own businesses to make them grow. And we were just talking about the ideal and likely buyer and the importance of having a three-legged marketing stool. And off air, Z goes, hey, you know what? I feel like we need to get back there into the ideal and likely buyer a little more so that the Thrivers aren't out there aggressively marketing to the wrong people. So, Z, break it down for us.
Yeah, Joseph said he had a Dream 100 list. Well, in order to put someone on the Dream 100 list, you have to determine that they are an ideal and likely buyer, right? And so whenever you break that down, it's easy to say, oh, yeah, go figure out who your buyer is. And then you're sitting there scratching your head going, how do I do that? But see, here's the thing about it. On our website, thrive15.com, in this show, the Thrivetime Show that you're listening to right now, and at our in-person workshops, we break it down for you, and we help you build that. So it could be things like this, that you know, is it men or women or both? Average age, average income, geographical location, where do they go, where do their kids go to school, what do they search when they're searching in a search engine? Does that make sense? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Shared fears, shared goals. In other words, is there any kind of thing about that group of people out there that can kind of bind them together?
Can I give some examples for the Urban Lunchbox?
Yeah, please. Yeah, fire off.
Because Joseph is a thriver. You know, he attended one of our workshops. Our team's been helping him grow his business. I personally I love entrepreneurship. It's in my DNA. And if you look at that, Joseph, that right there is a tip jar that was written by a 15-year-old mind. And it's on the wall inside the box that rocks. And so I started this company called DJ Connection. And I couldn't spell then. So you notice I spelled immediate wrong. But what happened was that the students said, man, you should DJ our next school dance. And I said the students. It was like a guy named Jeff. And I'm going, what? And he goes, no, the last DJ was terrible. And you're sort of funny. You should DJ. And I'm going, Jeff, I only have a plethora of CDs. I don't have the PA equipment. I don't have the gear. I don't have he goes, but you have the hype, the energy. You want it. You can do it. So I went out there and DJ'd without a crossfader. I had nothing but just motivation. And I convinced Mrs. Page I said, hey, listen, they had a DJ who was kind of like the big FM station guy they hired every year. And he was awful. And so I said, listen, I will do the next event for free. However, I want 100% of the door. Kids are paying $5 a head to get in. I want 100% of it after the first 200 kids because you know we never get more than 200 kids. And she says, I'll let you do the SAD dance, the Students Against Drunk Driving, because no one ever attends that dance. I said, fine. So I hyped it up. I promoted it. Well, next thing you know, there are like 400 or 500 kids coming to this thing.
Wow.
And I'm getting $5 per person that comes in. I'm rolling in. Yeah. And so what I realized was, man, I want to improve I need a crossfader. I need a dual disc CD player. I need better lighting. I mean, I need all this stuff, but I didn't have the money to do it. So I put out a tip jar. I got a second job. I started rolling the money back into it. Well, you're starting to get momentum, my man. You're starting to get a lot of subscribers to your food subscription, your daily healthy food subscription service. How are you able to put money back into growing the brand, into fixing it? Because you now know who your ideal and likely buyers are. You know they're people like me that have more money than time. They're busy entrepreneurs who want to eat healthy. They're busy people who want to make good, healthy decisions. They want to automate their healthy eating. Now that you're getting those ideal and likely buyers, you're doing the three-legged marketing stool, you're out there, how are you setting money aside to grow the brand? What kind of sacrifices are you making?
So basically, my girlfriend and I, we used to go out on a date night. We no longer have date night. It is at home. However, since I do make food, I do get extra food, which is super nice. I do not spend any time going out to eat. I don't go see movies. I don't go do anything other than sit at my house with my girlfriend or sit on my phone and try to sell lunches.
See, he's kind of like the Yoda of business now. I mean, he's off the grid, man.
He's off the grid, and you know what? You are delaying that gratification. Good for you. Clap, 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 clap.
Yay!
And there'll come a day when you will be able to, if you're successful and you grow your business successfully, you'll just be able to go out there and buy a movie theater. Just, hey, I think I'll buy that movie. You can play whatever movie you want whenever you want to see it. You just sit there with a big thing of popcorn and just watch movies all day.
Z, what kind of sacrifices did you make when you were a young, aspiring optometrist? You had not yet started your own clinic. What kind of sacrifices did you make to save up the money needed to open up your first practice?
Well, I work 7 days a week, and I think a lot of people that kind of blows their mind, but I work 7 days a week because I could. And so
That's not ethical, though, Z. It's not ethical. Not ethical at all. It's crazy.
Talking about it. It's my life. I can work it. So I worked for a few other doctors on the days that I had, the days I had off, and I pieced it together. I had, could work 7 days a week. And, you just take a few of those days and you just pretend like that's just in savings. You just kind of tuck that away. You live kind of minimalistic if you can. You don't get the big house right off the bat. You don't get the brand new car right off the bat. You delay gratification. And that's what we try to teach entrepreneurs. Hey, listen, let's start small. Let's start right. And let's grow this thing the correct way with these tried and proven steps that we're going through today. And we go through in the in-person workshops, and they're on Thrive15.com. And, oh, by the way, if you missed part of the show, it's a podcast on Thrivetimeshow.com.
Joseph, I'm going to ask you, how are you doing your search engine now, man? I mean, we talked about the three-legged marketing stool. You're doing the Dream 100, you're doing Facebook marketing, and you're doing search engine. What's your strategy?
So I am going to start recording podcasts as soon as possible, and I currently am sitting at home and writing articles.
Oh, yet
wow.
another
Now
sacrifice.
You're a writer, huh?
Now, if you Google right now, if you want to Google Tulsa testosterone, there you will see 2 Thrive clients.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah,
I mean, seriously, if you're looking for testosterone, low T, it's sort of the rage now, you're going to find Thrive 15 clients. If you Google Tulsa cookies, there you're going to find Thrive 15 clients, top of Google. If you want to type in Tulsa basketball camps, there you're going to find them. If you type in Tulsa mortgages, I mean, Z, basically, almost every industry in Tulsa, the Thrive 15 team is powering the people who are at the top of those categories. And it's not because we have a magic system. It's because we have a proven system. And if you want to know that proven system, you owe it to yourself and your wallet to go out to our next in-person workshop at Thrive15.com. Get all the information at Thrivetimeshow.com. It's not a mission impossible. It's not a James Bond mission that you can't possibly complete. Just go to Thrivetimeshow.com and get your tickets today.
This is my wife, Jensen Watts. She has a photography business that we're trying to get up and growing. So I, listen to talk radio. I drive a lot for work, and got tired of listening to radio all the time. And I can't plug my phone into my truck; it's too old. And so, one day the Thrive Show was just in place of the talk show I normally listen to. And it was, definitely more entertaining than most radio shows. And so that's, took about a week or two before I actually looked more into it. I think it's wonderful. It's been great. It's a great environment. I love the feel in here, and I really love how, entertaining Clay can be as well.
Yeah, I am so grateful to be here, and I've loved just learning everything. I'm learning a lot about branding and how to market my business, because that's kind of where I've had a hard time is I can take pictures, I'm good at it, I have my prices and everything, but it's hard to get the clientele. So learning about the marketing has really helped me, and I can't wait to implement it into my own business after this, because it's been so great. We're so grateful to be here. I think I can go home and I have it written out, the steps that I need to take, and everything is very practical.
Yeah, a big thing that's helped me, even without business stuff, is just, a mental attitude aspect they have that I can apply to my current job and current life.
I love it. I am laughing a lot of the time, and it's so entertaining, and I just love being here. It's awesome.
I really like the smaller class group, so it is more of an interaction, even if it isn't, a constant raise my hand, here's the question, here's the answer. It's just that kind of feel, just a smaller.
It's great. Yeah. They haven't tried to upsell us anything. It has all just been very knowledgeable, and they are just teaching you how to grow your business. So
Clay's been very giving with his time, his knowledge, his talents. At work, when I was telling people about this, like, I hope you're not joining some get-rich scheme. Like, even if it is, he's not going to charge me for it. So, yeah, I'd recommend it. I would even love to come again.
Hove. Hove. You are not ready. Unstoppable. Dynasty. Young Hova. I'm a hustler, baby. Hustler. I just want you to know.
Oh, Thrive Nation, welcome back into the show. I've never called him this, but you are being joined today. Your rendezvous that's going to happen between your ears is long overdue. You're going to rendezvous here with Tulsa's #1 ethical hustler.
I like where the adjective you used in there. So
I mean this though. As an entrepreneur, you have to hustle.
You have to hustle because no one's going to hustle for you. Like you're going to hustle in your business. So you set the tone. Your employees see you. You bring the energy. You bring it. And of course, when you're starting out like Joseph is, one right of me right now. Welcome to the box, Joseph. You're the only one there. So it's a good way to practice the hustle because you're looking around going, well, who made that phone call? Who was supposed to do that? What's going on here? Why aren't those lunches delivered? You're like, oh wait, it's me. It's just me.
you know how I know that Joseph will definitely be successful? You know how I know it? Do you know how I know for sure? Self-fulfilling prophecy. Put it on the books. Stone cold, lead pipe locked. How I know that he will be successful if he stays this course?
Because he's following the system.
He's following the system. It's a proven system.
He's following the system, yeah.
When you meet the guy, you get the impression that he's a doer, he's not an intender. So when you combine taking a proven system and you mix that with diligence, excellence is going to happen.
Ooh, I like that. Say that again. Unpack that a little bit.
When you combine diligence with a proven system, excellence is what comes out. And I met you, Joseph. How long ago did I first meet you at our in-person Thrivetime workshops?
February 24th and 25th.
Can you explain what that workshop was like for you? Maybe what that did for you, what that experience was like for you?
Well, that experience of, I think it's 16 hours, was more than the past 2 years I've spent at a local community college. And the following Tuesday, I withdrew from college, which I had all A's.
Really? So you withdrew from college.
Powerful story.
And I probably have irritated you. What's your last name, Joseph?
McKee.
Probably irritated Mrs. McKee or somebody out there who wanted you to graduate from college. But why did you feel like that getting out of college made sense for you based on what you wanted to do with your life?
Because I'm an avid self-learner, and I found that with the Thrive 15 platform, I can get practical education, not worrying about what aggregate demand curves are, what actual psychology is. I mean, I enjoy psychology, but I didn't need any of that stuff.
Can you explain, don't name the college, but what was the college experience like, and how was that different from the in-person workshop? Because a lot of people, when they hear learning, they go, oh, that's going to be boring.
It's going to be boring.
What was it like?
Well, it's very exciting, and everyone's here to learn, so it's very encouraging, and you can ask questions. Everybody was on time. I actually had a college professor who showed up late multiple times and did not show up to class multiple times and did not let anybody know. So it was just nice that I was able to ask questions. Everybody was very encouraging and answered anything I needed to know.
And so you went from the idea phase into the execution phase. In basically March 1st is probably when you got going with the coaching program?
Yeah, so I think my girlfriend told me she took a picture, and it was March 13th that I delivered my first lunch up here.
So March 13th. Now, see, he went from the prototype March 13th to today. We're going in May here. Now, in May, are you now at a point where you could go full-time if you wanted to, or are you still in the part-time phase? Walk us through where you're at, because you went from the idea phase into the branding, into the marketing. You went over your numbers. Where are you at right now, and when could you potentially go full-time, or have you gone full-time yet?
Well, I could potentially go full-time right now. However, since my business is starting, I had to purchase an LLC, insurance, all of that. So I'm currently still working my part-time job so I can afford those things, and I am still currently buying extra containers, extra food, every day so I can deliver to my Dream 100.
Z, why is this so encouraging? I am pumped up. He is pumping me up, Z. It's like there's a non-drug tested weightlifting, powerlifting competition being held here right now, and I am just taking all the roids.
you just don't realize how beautiful a thing that was just spoken. A young man wanting to change the course of his life has an idea, figures out there's a problem that can be solved. He then searches out on top of the mountain the business coach of business coaching. And he climbs that mountain one rock at a time. And then he sits at the feet of that business coach.
So nice to meet you.
And says, "Teach me, oh wise business coach."
I shall, young grasshopper.
And it's working out.
It's working out.
He's saying, listen, I got an idea. Now I need a business coach. Finds us, comes in here in February, and now in May his business is rocking, and it's just going to keep. It's just a beautiful story, folks. I'll tell you what. This is what we're passionate about. This is why we do this show right here. This young man sitting here, he's all suited up. Looks very nice today, by the way, and it's just fun to hear his success story because this is what we want for everybody listening out there. You know, Forbes says about, I don't know, 57, 60% of the people listening right now are
want to
thinking,
become an entrepreneur.
You were where this young man was in February. You said, you know what?
Just do it.
I have an idea. There's a problem. Here's a widget. Here's a thing. I think I want to tackle this. I want to change my stars.
And I want to tell you something about Joseph. He's actually a beneficiary of the scholarship program where we have all different levels of one-on-one coaching. And he was qualified for a scholarship. And I'm telling you what, for us, for Z and I, this helping you, Joseph, is kind of cathartic because young men and women ask us all the time, could you help us? Could you help me grow my business? Could I pick your brain? Could I take you out for lunch? And I know that I've worked really hard to achieve time freedom and financial freedom, and I know Z has as well. And I remember wanting to reach out to Z to pick his brain as a young guy, and I couldn't because he was so busy building the systems. And when he finally achieved that time freedom, everybody wants a piece of your time. And so but the whole Thrive 15 experience, it's a win-win for everybody because for me, it's a win-win. We can help people out like you. And it's a win for the marketplace because the marketplace gets to experience a great new product. And then for you, I mean, how has the coaching program impacted you personally? Walk the Thrivers through what that experience has been like.
So basically, it's very encouraging. I had no idea absolutely what I was doing, and they just continually encouraged me to keep growing and building myself up. They told me a couple books to read. I met with them once a week, and we would go through, and I would tell them what we're doing, and they would give me ways to improve on what I was doing, whether it be my marketing, my branding, my sales, and they would go through even the sales scripts with me all the way through that. And it's just very encouraging to know that somebody who has already done what I want to do, and I admire you, Clay, and I want to be exactly like you. I even have chickens.
No. You don't want to be. No. You don't want to be. Yeah, he is the world's best business coach. That's true, Joseph. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but he's also the world's worst driver.
Yeah, the worst driver.
So you don't want to be completely like him.
And I have no pigment, and I took algebra 3 times. And really took Spanish multiple times.
And if someone moves a stapler on his desk, he has an absolute certified come apart.
Have you seen The Aviator? Have you guys watched The Aviator?
Yes.
Where Howard Hughes gets so upset that everything's changing around him that he basically moves into a room for 6 months and he just doesn't come out. I'm not there yet, but I have noticed tendencies to want to stay in a room for 6 months.
It seems like a better idea every day, doesn't it?
It does seem better and better all the time. Now, but in all sincerity, you had a coach that you're working with. Explain what the coach himself or herself was like.
So Robert was
your coach?
Robert Redmond is my coach, yeah. And he's super awesome. He's very encouraging. He saw what I needed, and every single time I would come in, it would seem like he spent time out of his day specifically worrying about me and what I needed to do to help my business grow. And I felt outside of our 1 hour meeting, he was thinking about my business and what I was doing.
Did you get a copy of the Start Here book? Have you purchased that book, or do you own that book, or the Boom book, or do you have any of those curriculum books?
The Thrive book I received from his son a few years ago.
Yeah.
I also have the Start Here book, which I ordered on Amazon, and I have the Boom book at home as well.
Which book has been the most practical for you, the most helpful, or how have they impacted you?
I like the Start Here book just because it's an actual text. However, the Boom book makes it a lot simpler and easier to follow.
Yeah, the Start Here book is probably the most well-researched business book on the planet, which is why we call it Start Here, the world's best business book. Z, for the Thrivers out there who have never experienced the power of a business coach, why do you feel passionately that everybody should check it out?
Well, they should. I tell you what, you don't know what you don't know, and that's what's so crazy about it. I mean, if you email us in your website, we can run a diagnostic test on it, 37-point
diagnostic test.
And we could tell you that you're going to have some problems, and then we can help you fix them, or you can go get them fixed.
Now, Z, also one thing we can do for the Thrive Nation is we can invite you out to an in-person workshop. We can invite you, but it's up to you to take the action. And I encourage you not to believe what I'm saying because I'm trying to sell you something, right? Just read the reviews. Check it out. Read the reviews. Check out, just type in thrivetimeshow.com. Visit the website. Learn about it. We have a scholarship available. Makes it affordable for everybody. Also, go to thrive15.com, the world's best business school. It's only $1 for your first month. And as always, subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode of the Thrivetime Show on your radio. And until next time, Thrive Nation, we always like to end with a 3, 2, 1. Feel free to count aloud with us
and
if
then
you
say
want
boom
to.
at the end of it, right?
Here we go.
Yeah, you got to do that, right?
All right, here we go.
Ready?
3, 2, 1.
Boom!